Today, let's talk about a new worry that Walter shared with me. He told me that one of his female classmates had to take a break from school due to depression. After the class heard about it, they all started researching depression online. After reading a lot, Walter told me that he feels like he might have symptoms of depression too. I told him that it's great he's paying attention to his mental health. It shows that he's being responsible for himself. After all, statistics shows that about 13 to 20% of teenagers in the US have experienced symptoms of depression, which is Walter's age group. Also, a survey from 2021 found that nearly 70% of high schoolers reported having had a major depressive episode, with girls being more affected. I suggest Walter use a standard from Professor Martin Seligman of the University of Pennsylvania to assess depression. The key symptoms are feeling sad, losing interest in life, feeling no passion or energy, weight loss or sleeping issues, just trouble feeling to sleep, but waking up at 4 a.m. and not being able to get back to sleep, slow speech and movements, feeling tired, low self-esteem, indecisiveness, trouble concentrating, thoughts of death or suicide. If someone has 5 or more of these symptoms for 2 weeks or more, it's time to take action. Luckily, after doing a self-check, Walter was relieved to find that other than worrying a bit too much, it's fine. As a renowned psychologist, which contributes a lot to the world, Professor Sengerman's work on positive psychology has helped many people. His career path is connected to an important experiment. Do you remember the famous one about a dog in a cage? There was an electric grid and a buzzer in the cage. Every time the buzzer went off, the dog would get shot. At first, the dog would try to escape, but when he realized it couldn't, it would lie down and whisper in defeat, tail tucked between its legs. Eventually, even when the buzzer went off without a shock, the dog would still act as if it was being shocked because it had learned helplessness. When I explained it to Walter, he felt sorry for the dog but was confused that how learned helplessness applied to teenagers. Little did he know this is a major cause of depression among teens. In my previous school visits, I met students who constantly feel like they weren't good enough, which is a sign of learned helplessness. This mindset makes people blame their failures on things they can't change, causing them to lose the courage and confidence to keep trying. For example, if a student does poorly in math and a few times, they might think, I'm not smart, I just can't do math, which is an example of blaming failure on something they feel they can't change. After hearing this, Walter realized that he had experienced learned helplessness before. I reminded him to be mindful of this because it can drag someone into depression. There are many ways to prevent depression in teens, and I've mentioned one in the previous video, letting go of catastrophic thinking. You can check out the video if you are interested. In addition to avoiding catastrophic thinking, I give Walter another tip: develop positive thinking. Let's go back to the math example. Failing a few math tests and then deciding you are not smart and can't do math is a typical negative thought pattern. If we want to help the students, we should guide them to analyze their mistakes instead of jumping into conclusions. If the mistakes were due to miscalculation, it might be a sign that they need to focus more during checks, not that they lack of math skills. We should fix a specific issue instead of completely writing ourselves off as not smart. For positive thinking, let me share my own experience. Don't laugh, but even though I'm a bit heavier side, I participated in a 1,500-meter race at my school sports day, and I even won an award. Why did I run? It all started by chance. The student who was supposed to run got injured during the 800-meter race. No one thought I'd step up, and but when the teacher kept asking for volunteers and no one stepped forward, I said, "Can I do it?" I still remember standing on the track thinking, what if I unlock my running potential and get first place? Unsurprisingly, I came in last. If I had negative thoughts, I'd probably think everyone was looking down on me for finishing last. But with positive thinking, I realized my goal was to keep the class from losing points. And even though I came in last, I showed courage and earned the respect of my teacher and classmates. Even students I didn't know were cheering for me. So in the end, I still gained something valuable. Einstein once said, you can live life two ways. Either nothing is a miracle, or everything is. I took water to try to fostering more positive thinking and see how it might change his studies and life. If you are dealing with worries or confusions, feel free to leave a comment. As someone your age, I will do my best to help. And don't forget to like, subscribe, No Thoughts of Young Water. Let's grow together. Leslie, do you often find yourself stuck in negative thinking? If you do, comment yes below and give the tip I shared a try. I'm Sky, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.